Marine spatial planning refers to a process where stakeholders plan what activities will be restricted to certain areas of the ocean to ensure that the sea space is being used with conservation in mind. To meet the milestones outlined in the Belize Blue Bond Agreement, consideration for biodiversity reserves and sustainability must be kept in mind when making these decisions. That is why the multi-sector Marine Spatial Planning Workshop was held today in Belize City. Samir Rosado, MSP Process Lead at the Coastal Zone Management Authority and Institute, explained how these topics would be covered in today's workshop.
During the workshop, day one, of course, would be setting the stage for what spatial planning is, specifically what marine spatial planning is. So giving the definitions, the context, and really setting the stage for day two, which would be actually getting into the work. So we'll be looking at existing conditions. In order to plan for the future, we definitely need to understand what the demands for space are currently. We'll also be looking at compatibility between uses. So, within our ocean space, as we refer to it, there are a lot of different demands for related to various activities, fishing, tourism, so on and so forth. And so we need to see that spatially, where overlaps exist, if they are complementary or if they conflict. And really the purpose of day two and part of for this workshop is to really determine where those conflicts would be and to assess whether or not they can be sort of assessed and separated to avoid any sort of negative effects to the delivery of the activity.
Jamane Balderramos, a marine spatial planning specialist at the Nature Conservancy, told us that part of the workshop would be learning how to make use of a tool designed specifically for spatial planning. He said that the Marksan is publicly available on the internet and can be used by anyone with a graphic information system.
Marksan is actually a spatial planning tool, and it's to help achieve conservation goals and objectives. So it will look at the entire ocean space, and in Belize we're considering our internal waters, territorial seas, and exclusive economic zones. You can put in data such as ecosystems and human uses, and Marksan will look at how all these things are valued and try to minimize trade-offs. You can customize the program to help you to determine the best use of space to meet particular objectives. So if we want to look at the blue economy and we want to look at allocating space for tourism and so on, Marksan can then look at the trade-offs and help us to determine the best use of space.
A key component in the Belize Sustainable Ocean Plan is the Belize Blue Bond Agreement, which enables the country to reduce debt burden and increase long-term ocean conservation. Safira Vasquez of the Blue Bond and Finance Permanence Unit explained how this factors into today's discussions.
The Belize Blue Bonds have several milestones and several conservation milestones and commitments, and today's event is actually a part of us leading up to our milestone 4, which we should meet in this year, November 2024, which is the further designation of up to 25% of our ocean space in biodiversity protection zones. So today's event is basically they will be building upon some of the groundwork that has been done by the Coastal Zone Management Authority, which is the government lead agency for our Marine Spatial Plan, which is known as the Belize Sustainable Ocean Plan. And so they'll be building up on some of the work that they have been conducting with our various ocean users.
Rosado said that allocating space within the ocean for varying uses such as fisheries, tourism, coastal development, and protection for ecosystems is a necessary step in conservation.
There's a lot of power in assigning space for activities because it takes away the instability of these activities and ensures that moving forward, these activities are sustainable over time. And so really the objective of marine spatial planning is to assign the space with a view to balance the multiple objectives that these activities may have. So there's environmental uses, there's social uses, recreational, and then there's economic uses. And the idea is to establish that balance to ensure that all of these objectives are satisfied through one process.
Britney Gordon for News 5.